Please. Oh my god. Okay,
go.
waiting a little bit here.
Okay. Hello, duelists, Tombox, Oscar, and Nishi, all here together. It's rare that we're ever here together. Okay, but there's a special occasion that brings us all together, and that is ban list prediction time.
Hooray!
All right.
Oh shit.
All right. So we're each gonna deliver our list and the reasoning behind that. For my sake, I am known as Murder Axe. I am here to destroy every deck possible so that new decks can come play. What are you guys doing?
My list is basically the same. I'm killing all the meta decks, doing some kind of, balancing revisions on cards that don't no longer really need to be on the ban list, and just some general meta hits that Konami usually does.
Oscar the Ripper.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of the same way because, like, if we look at last year's list at roughly the same time, we saw like Construct being banned, El Cheval Fusion being limited,
And like
we saw
Necross
like all of these hits, and it was just in preparation for the new meta, and I think it's going to be very similar this time.
So, if we have not killed all your favorite decks, we have not done our jobs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so let's start off with some ban stuff. Alright, I'm gonna go first on this one. And I'm gonna hit something that's in my own deck. Monkey Board! Yeah, let's kill this Monkey Board. He's honestly one of the most powerful pendulum cards in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! One card scale. A little bit more powerful than Scout, I would say. Scout was also a one card scale in Please. But the thing about Monkey Board is it just has so many search targets, and anything that's within the Performable engine just can recur your scales, research your scales. Like, never in any time of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has like Monkey Board been like such a sacky top deck. Oh, top deck Monkey Board. Kill your opponent.
Yeah, it's particularly dangerous in this format just because of how Perform Hell is set up. So like, even if you pen 5, you can do way more than just pen 5. It's Cliff Force, top deck is Scout. They pen 5, but their monsters are really just a beater, right? You can't really do much more than that if you have to search the scale with Scout. So Monkey Board, definitely the more powerful version of Scout, despite them being pretty much the same card.
Yeah, well, even though you could scout one turn and then scout the next turn, Clifford's all had the clause where you can only summon Clifford monsters.
Yeah, super limited.
Your extra deck was locked out, but Monkey Board you can do whatever the hell you want. So.
Yeah. The option select is a lot more limited.
Yeah, too much
in
power.
Clifford's.
In other words, pendulums must get weakened. So if Monkey Board's still around, and therefore the new pendulum decks don't keep up with it. And a lot of the new decks, to be honest, aren't as powerful as the current format.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't say they're as powerful.
yeah. I've been telling everyone that all the new decks are completely ass, and I hate all of them, and I don't know what I'm going to play for the next format because they're all just terrible. I mean, I've been playing Blue Eyes a bit, and it's actually a lot better than I thought it was, but it's still not as good as I would say like Cosmo right now. Like Cosmo is pretty insane right now compared to like something like Blue Eyes.
Yeah, like, I would like to say that most of the OTKs that we commit into in the current format are super safe. Like, you have like a recurring play for the next turn if you actually don't kill them, and that is something that we don't have in the next format. When you actually try to OTK someone, Blue Eyes trying to OTK, you're committing your entire hand.
Yeah.
Like, Metaphobe committing, you're committing your entire hand. And if they blow up your scales, you lose it. Not like Performables. If Performables, they blow up your scales, well, I already searched my next scale in my hand anyway.
Scales are already in your hand.
Yeah. So that doesn't work out. So Monkey Board 0, I think we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Nishi?
Yeah, I also have Monkey Board at 0.
Next ban card, I have the Monarch Stormforth.
Okay.
You guys?
I don't have it there, but I do agree on hitting it.
No? Okay, so I'm the only one who thinks Stormforth should be banned.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, thinking about it, like, let's think of, like, a rebase. I think that the fact that you can, if your opponent has 2 monsters on board, you can tribute their monster to summon your big monster to get rid of their other big monster.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, like, thinking about the Monarch deck, Ether is a fine card. I think Erebus is a fine card. It's just, Stormforth introduces, like, a game-breaking mechanic.
Oh yeah.
And like the fact that you contribute your opponent's monsters for like a Vanity's Fiend, a Majesty's Fiend, any of those big monarchs with domain, like I think it's like, I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite. I feel that Stormforth is a completely fine card. Like the tribute mechanic, like Soul Exchange, has been around for a very long time. It's just what makes Stormforth such a powerful card right now is the fact that the Monarch engine can abuse it so well. So in order to, Stormforth is not the problem. It's the problem cards or the Monarch engine itself.
I think Stormforth is the problem. I'm actually kind of standing closer to Nishi's side because Stormforth, like when you compared it with Soul Exchange, I had a complete disagreement right there. We already know that like Soul Exchange had so much like a clause, like for instance, it targets, it has the no battle phase condition. There's a lot more restrictions.
It's a normal spell.
And it's a normal spell. You can't do it during your opponent's turn. Like
yeah.
that's huge. And because of that makes Stormforth like, and also because of the non-targeting part, I think that's actually the bigger part of the two. The non-targeting part makes it so that it can clear boss monsters.
You can clear Dark Destroyer
as a part of a combo. It's like the clearing is just there for free.
Get rid of anything.
And honestly, it's way too powerful. Like, it's so free. I don't know what else to say. It's a very free removal, and it's always part of a mid combo. Like like you said, Arevis to go with it. It's never like Stormforth by itself is like kind of mediocre. Because,
well, I mean, you don't want to top deck Stormforth.
No, you don't.
But because the plays that you can make with Stormforth, the plays that Stormforth enables, are absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't have it at 0, but sure. Anything else banned for you guys? I have nothing else.
I have Draco Face Off banned.
Oh,
actually.
okay, really?
Yeah, I feel like that card is actually very splashable in the next format. Draco, like the term Draco Pal, you can't just hit the Pal to hit the Draco engine too, because the Draco engine is actually very strong by itself. Many times Draco Pal players are just playing with the Draco engine itself, but they don't draw the Pals. So I actually think Face Off is like one of the most ridiculous cards. It was the best card in the game for a very long time. In the previous format yeah, and like outside of Wavering, like Draco Face Off was the card. Like it's just super powered E-Telly on crack. And
Pendulum E-Telly, basically.
Yeah. And I really feel like Draco Face Off should go to 1 so it's not splashable and stuff like Metal Flow too. But yeah, it's just my personal opinion. I also have Norden going to 0.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
And let me explain this for a second. Norden going to 0 not because Norden is broken or because Norden deserves to go to 0, but because Konami likes to hit cards that are kind of like splashable engine cards, so like Instant Fusion, Norden, that combo, stuff like Soul Charge that are splashable in engines. Splashable cards they like hitting just because to rotate out the meta, to like kind of make the meta more fresh. So that's why I feel like Norden will get hit and make Instant Fusion basically dead. It's like a bad card now, like it was before. But yeah, I just think Norden will go to 0. Kind of following the OCG path.
See, I would probably just leave Norden as it is. I don't really think Instant Fusion is a big problem.
I don't think Instant Fusion or Norden need to get hit any further than they are.
And as for Draco Face Off, I don't know if I want to hit that at the moment because they are pushing that. They just pushed that Draco. What's this like? The True Draco Slayer.
Yeah.
Masterpiece, whatever.
I was sad.
Yeah, but it's like Necros. It's like Necros of Sophia. They push it out because the archetype is already dead.
Yeah, there are some tell cards that usually come from it, but I don't know, man. Maybe people will play. Who knows? It's the only way to actually summon that card quickly.
Yeah,
but whatever. Anything else, Nishi? I think you have more.
Okay, I have 2 bands.
Two more bands.
That I guess you guys don't have. Okay. So my first one is Gem Knight Seraphinite. So I think Seraphinite, like the Brilliant Fusion engine. I don't want to hit Brilliant Fusion and obviously not Garnet or Lazuli.
Hit those guys.
Because
hit Lazuli, so I don't have to draw 2
yeah,
of them.
Oscar won't be able to open it. Okay, no, but actually, like I think very similarly to how Oscar wanted to hit like Norden Instant Fusion like as its own mini engine, or if we look in the past at how Moral Talk was limited, right? Like I think it's just they want to kill that small part of an engine to keep the meta going. People will experiment with like different card choices, different engines. I mean, it doesn't hurt Gem Knights. Pure Gem Knights don't play Seraphinite, so I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that the Brilliant engine is like people are throwing it in just so many things, and it's making all of these things playable.
Yeah, there was like Brilliant Cosmo for a bit.
Yeah.
Like that was just silly. They made like Crystal Wing or something in turn 1.
Yeah.
Like it just made no sense whatsoever. It was just being tossed around and everything. But I don't agree if it getting hit at all. I feel like that's actually a very good engine right now, and
I think the Brilliant engine is a bit OP. Like, think about your deck building. You're automatically filling a deck with 6 cards, which kind of like limits, like, and you know that opening is always a power card. It's never like unless you brick where they open like all the brilliant cards like how you usually do.
Hi, Oscar.
But like, if you don't open with all of them, you either have other combo pieces to go with it. It is a power card. It's a 3 of power card if you think about it, and that gives the deck consistency. The consistency that, you know, why you would run 3 upstarts and why 3 upstarts is now back to 1. I wouldn't completely kill Seraphonite, but I would probably rather hit like Brilliant Fusion to 1 kind of thing, just so that you don't draw the power card.
Like, the reason I don't want to hit Brilliant Fusion is because Gem Knights is still a deck.
Okay.
And like, they don't play Seraphonite, but they play Brilliant Fusion.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if Gem Knights are good, but I know that
But
they...
Konami doesn't care about Gem Knights.
Okay, yeah.
So
Still. Alright, so I actually have one more ban that I don't think you guys necessarily agree with. I have Tour Guide from the Underworld being banned. I think Burning Abyss has been a deck for way too long. It won Nats last year, and it came 2nd place at Nats this year.
Okay.
And
that's pretty OP.
it's pretty good.
And Tour Guide is like the sat card in the deck. The best card in the deck.
But it's that 1 of.
Yeah, but you can search it with Scarm and... I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay, the search for Charm is pretty
Yeah. And I mean, you always have access to Scarm, so you always have access to Tour Guide because you have Graph and Fiendish Rhino Warrior.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think they have to hit Burning Abyss to an, like, basically unplayable level.
So you're hitting more than just...
I'm gonna hit more than the banning of Tour Guide.
Okay.
I don't think Tour Guide's the only problem, but I think they have to ban Tour Guide.
Okay, I don't agree with hitting Tour Guide. I do agree that Tour Guide is a super, like the power card of the deck. Is like, like you said, it's like a 1 card Dante.
Yeah.
And by going to like top decking it, obviously getting your good mills, and then you're back in the game. Yeah, it's a bit powerful, but I don't think that's the right card to hit, because like other cards, there are other ways of getting like a 1 card Dante as well, like Terror Top and and all those other cards.
Like, I agree with PK Fire being hit to shit, but I don't think Tour Guide is the problem card at all. And I think Tour Guide is like, it's kind of like Rescue Rabbit, where it's like, it's nice that 1 protects who can play it. And that's what Konami sometimes throws, like, you know, rogue decks a bone like that, like Rescue Rabbit.
Rescue Rabbit.
Alright.
Okay. I guess that's all our bans.
Yep.
I don't know. You guys let us know if you agree with it down below. But let's move on to the next set. Limited stuff. Okay, we have a huge fat limited list.
I have a lot of stuff.
Let's try to go over this as quickly as possible and be as direct and brief about a description of why they need to get hit. But let's start with you, Oscar.
Okay, so the BA, of course, I have Dante at 1.
Yay!
Seer at 1.
Yay!
I also have Pantheism at 1.
Yay!
Prime Monarch at 1 because it's the best
I
monster
don't
in
have
the
that
format. Also, well, Pantheism and Prime. Pantheism because the engine card and everyone thinks it's going to 1.
Yeah.
Prime because I don't want Exceed Monarchs to be a deck after Pantheism gets hit, because Prime is very abusable. That's what OCG is. A lot of OCG lists playing right now are playing Prime Monarch. They're playing Exceed Monarch basically, which just abuses Prime. So that'll keep it in the format. I also have Cosmo Dark Destroyer going to 1. Cosmo Town going to 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, and last kind of meta hit I have is Atlantean Dragoons going to 1, because I feel like Mermail is like, I don't know, it's like...
But they just got Coral Dragon.
It's like a stronger deck out the format, it's like tier 2-ish, and with like going into the new format, they kind of want to push Mermail aside. But yeah, I mean, I mean, it's a little iffy of a hit, but I feel like that might happen just because Konami.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I don't agree with the Atlantean Dragoons. I think Mermails are fine where they are.
Dragons.
But, I don't know. I think Prince is more of a problem than the Dragoons, to be honest.
I don't
want to hit anything about. I don't have nothing hit on Mermails.
Yeah, no, I don't think Mermails is a problem deck at all.
For me, things going to 1 on top of Oscar's list. I actually have most of his stuff on my list as well. So things that he did not hit, which I would continue to hit. Performable Pendulum Sorcerer. I think Pendulum Sorcerer has to get slotted. Put him in a back house and just put him in his put him out of his misery. And then I actually have second donkey going to one as well because
Oh, what?
I want to kill performables completely. I don't want them to exist. It's like, oh, are they gonna
Sorcerer
do that?
1 is already killing the deck.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not even gonna give them the stratos that they want.
No, but if you like, don't they still? The anime is still going. Aren't there still new pendulum cards?
Well, I'm
coming?
sorry, but he's turning into a venison burger at the end of this. He's done.
Donkey isn't venison.
I know it's not a deer,
Okay.
but it's a
Making
donkey. It's gonna be our donkey burger.
Okay.
I also have Cosmojo going to one. I don't want
What?
Yeah, screw Cosmos completely.
Okay.
No power plays.
Tombox doesn't like Cosmo.
I am murdering everything.
They both have. Okay, so you guys both have Destroyer and Town Limited.
Yeah.
And you have Mojo Limited.
Yeah, I don't want them to exist.
I only have Dark Destroyer Limited.
Wow, you still want the deck to be
Okay.
alive?
Yeah. So my.
Someone was playing Cosmo for a while.
Did you just pick up Cosmo or something?
I picked it up like a month ago.
I knew it!
Not
Okay,
biased
no.
at all, boys.
So I actually have a bit of logic behind this.
Okay.
So last year, Burning Abyss wins Nats, right? Burning Abyss, limited Graph, semi-limited Seer, but they get Fiendish Rhino Warrior. And then OCG gets Beatrice. TCG gets Beatrice imported in Premium Gold, everyone freaks out. BA becomes a top, like a playable deck again.
Okay.
I think the exact same thing is going to happen with Cosmo.
What are they gonna give Cosmo?
I don't know what it's
You're
gonna be.
gonna give
Yoda.
Oh.
Nobody was expecting Beatrice, but like OCG is gonna get Cosmo. They have all like a whole bunch of like
Okay.
Farm Girl and stuff announced, but they're gonna get some OCG broken exclusive Cosmo card,
Yoda.
and they still have to touch Destroyer, right? Because they still limited Graph and they still semi-limited Seer, so they still have to touch Cosmo. But once we get that OCG exclusive Cosmo card, Cosmo is still going to be a deck. It's still going to top into the next year, and then afterwards they're going to slaughter it. That's my
Okay.
logic behind it.
So not going to the slaughterhouse yet.
Yeah, my issue with that is Beatrice didn't really push it over. It was the PK engine that really pushed it over. The synergy there was kind of, unheard of and not really expected. But Cosmo is a deck that's very hard to synergize with other archetypes because of how specific they play, how specific the restrictions are. It's not like, Dante, etc. that are it's just so free and it's easy to play around with. Like decks like BA Monarchs exist because BA is such a versatile deck, and hitting them it's very difficult because you have to hit lots of cards. And when new cards that come out that have a little synergy with it, it creates a deck like PK Fire. So I don't think it's the same logic behind it, but I can see where you're coming from.
Okay. Oh well. The reason why for Dark Destroyer is pretty obvious why. He's the
Dark
power
Destroyer.
card. He basically is everything below level 8.
Yeah.
In other words, he can blow up himself to hit spells and traps. He himself already pops a monster, and he pushes a lot of OTKs.
Yeah.
And even though if he goes to 1, you have to put Cosmotown back to 1 too, because Cosmotown is such a problem card for
Yeah, but
any players to deal with. We can't blow it up, and in other words, Castell for the format for like the last couple of months, it was spin Cosmotown, and that's about it. And like, if you don't get rid of Cosmotown, Dark Destroyer is just gonna recur himself, and not only he can already recur himself with Strawman already.
The problem I have with limiting Cosmotown is that without Cosmotown, like even with Dark Destroyer at 3, if you limit Cosmotown, Cosmo is literally unplayable.
I know
cannot
they
play
have
That's the point!
No, you cannot play Cosmo.
they brick.
No, yeah, exactly.
People brick.
No,
like
but-
right now you can't give them like right now. Think about Cosmo, how strong they are. Like you tally out a tin can, they immediately are in the game. They immediately move to mid game, and you have other cards to actually push them into the mid game. That gives them consistency. That's why Cosmotown and Dark Destroyer have to go. And I only hit Cosmoto just as like a little salting on the wound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he
thanks,
doesn't like
thanks,
Cosmo,
guy.
so-
Thanks, guy.
So I got a couple more things limited, and for things going down, I have Card of Demise, Terratop, Seer, and Anti-Spell Fragments. Now, hear me out on Card of Demise. Card of Demise, obviously you guys don't like playing against Demise Klee, Demise Cosmos. These decks, like, inherently Card of Demise is a +2. And for those decks that can play strictly control, it is a very powerful +2. Like, they just put it on floodgates, and it's just hard to deal with for people. And it's not letting people play Yu-Gi-Oh! To some degree. And I don't like that kind of interaction. So, and to promote more dynamic gameplay, Card of Demise, putting him at 1. If you really want to play it, sure, why not? But I don't think it should be like a 3-up. Like if you open with it, you're basically just sacking your opponent.
Yeah, I think it's a little too early to put Card Demise onto the list though. But I do agree that at some point Card Demise will go on the list, similar to Soul Charge, how even though it promotes deck diversity, it's just to make it the meta game less stale, less like, oh, he played Card Demise again, I lost to Card Demise again, it's been like a year of Card Demise. But Card Demise is still a very recently new card, although it is still on my list, but it's not at 1.
Card of Demise, I do not have a problem with Card of Demise being at 3, but if it got hit either semi-limited or limited or banned, I would not be surprised.
Okay.
I think it'd be reasonable, but I also think it's a reasonable card to keep in the meta as well.
Okay. Anti-spell, fragrance. The reason, okay, this one's like kind of obvious. My reasoning is pretty obvious. Like, first of all the new decks can't play against anti-spell fragrance. If you're the guy playing and you open anti-spell fragrance, you do your combo with all your spells and stuff, and then you flip anti-spell on your opponent. He better have an MST or Twin Twist or Typhoon or something just to clear it off because they can't play. Blue Eyes need to get their trade-ins in, they need to get their spells going, and they don't run anything but spells and maybe like 2 traps. Let's see. We don't even have ABCs yet, but ABCs need to get their field spell out or else they're gonna be really, really slow. Even for our TCG exclusive stuff, Sub-Terrors and Spirals, the cards we have are spell-based.
And all the spiral stuff.
All the spiral stuff are spell-based right now. And Sub-Terror, you can't play your Hidden City, you're like your most powerful card at the moment. I don't think that's very good either. It just slows the game down to the point that it's like it's like back then when Emptiness was just a blowout card. Like, oh, I opened Emptiness and you can't clear it, oh, you lose. Anti-Spell is very similar, and the thing is, it's good against every deck. Metal Foe, you open that, well, it's a Pendulum deck, so they auto-lose basically if you can't clear it. Overall, it's just... Anti-Spell is the power trap of the format, it's the power floodgate.
Yeah, I have Anti-Spell at 1 too because I lost my top 64 to it. So, fuck that card.
Salt. Yeah, I also have Anti-Spell Fragrance at 1.
Okay, we're in agreement.
I think we're in agreement. I think we said it in the last ban list video as well. But
it is it feels like back when like Mind Drain and Soul Drain were too powerful.
Okay, yeah.
Like Soul Drain's not one.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
Skill Drain's that, like Skill Drain, yeah.
It's like one of those super powerful floodgates.
Yeah.
Like it's become meta has got to a point where spells are so decks are so reliant on spells that anti-spells become a very powerful floodgate, even though on paper it's not a very powerful floodgate.
Yeah, and like the thing is, even though it would hinder yourself, as long as you're able to play your stuff first before your opponent, you just put your opponent so far behind. Like tempo-wise, one of the most powerful tempo cards.
Yeah.
So I have like Seer and Terror Top as the other two.
Yeah, Terror Top is a little iffy. I think it's
more as a tour
It's
guide.
more BA abusing it than it being broken itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only other decks I've seen it being played in is like BA Monarchs or some like synchro decks. I was playing Terror Top, or like Speedroids if you're playing Speedroids.
Yeah, Speedroid players are probably like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
I feel like Terror Top's on your list because of Dante and not because of Terror Top.
It's actually more because if it's like it's an instant rank 3, kind of like Tour Guide, but the whole thing about it is it doesn't use up your normal summon. And that, to me, is kind of...
I think the difference to me between Terror Top versus Tour Guide is Terror Top, you're searching Tombox, which doesn't do shit. Tour Guide, you're getting like a Fiendish Ren Warrior, a Skarm, or a Graph.
I guess you get more synergy.
Yeah, you're doing so much more, right? Like
you're getting a lot more.
Terror Top itself isn't a problem card. I mean, if I was playing Speedroids, I'd probably have Take Tomborg in hand, so I wouldn't even get the search, and it wouldn't be that good. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Terror Top's not a problem.
Yeah, I have Seer at 1 just because.
Seriously?
I want to punch you so much right now. Okay, but yeah, Seer at 1 because again, BA's past their prime, they should not be a thing.
Yeah, I have Seer at 1 too.
Seer at 1 and Dante at 1.
I don't have Dante at 1. I didn't think about.
Oh, really?
Maybe I should have put Dante at 1. I'm supposed to cripple the deck.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Dante has
to
to go to 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dante
it's
1.
too silly.
Yeah, no.
The other card I have 1 is it's kind of because it might get reprinted. It's Chaos Emperor Dragon. I mean, OCG has had that reprint for a very long time.
And it's
trash. I want to see CED come back like, with the reprint. It looks kind of cool. I have a copy of it, so I want to play it.
Or it's going to come back unerrated.
Oh, no.
Don't listen to this guy. This guy's foolish.
Not really.
The voice of crazy.
Although I have Okay, for things going back to one. Oh, actually, I have one more thing going down with Stormforce, but same reasoning. But the other cards I have going up, Solemn Judgment, Sanguine, and Pot of Avarice. That's my gamble card. That's my gamble card.
No.
I would not put money on Pot of Avarice.
Pot of Avarice is not coming back.
Absolutely not.
They just released Pot of Desires. They are not putting Pot of Avarice at 1.
Put Pot of Avarice
You are
at 1.
I mean,
man.
no, that'd be
We'll see. You fools.
No.
Doubted. Okay.
No.
Solemn Judgment, OCG has it, and it's not because OCG has it why I kind of want Solemn Judgment. It's just, I have another Solemn card going down.
Right.
Kind of give us back a Solemn Judgment.
Yeah.
I don't.
What do you think?
Like Solemn Judgment, even if it came back, it wouldn't matter too much. But I don't care if it stays banned either. Solemn Judgment's just fine.
I feel like Solemn Judgment would replace that one card slot that for those people who are playing Solemn Scolding are playing. They would just play that instead because it's always activatable.
No, I don't think looking at OCG for any traps is a good precedent.
I know it's not a good precedent at all, but I just
Feather Duster. OCG has Feather Duster.
Yeah, because
We're not having that.
The traps available in OCG are insane, right? Like the traps they have available are just absolutely crazy and mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But like TCG having like Solemn Judgment is absolutely crazy too, because Ariane is a thing. Like playing Ariane Metal Foe, searching Solemn Judgment is absolutely crazy.
You're never getting that
I
Solemn
don't wanna
Judgment
see that
ever with
ever.
Ariadne.
Yeah.
But then not paying life points with that Solemn Judgment is pretty good.
Yeah. But if they show you Solemn Judgment in 2 strikes, like
You could
Well,
strike.
actually, it's kind of funny because that means it tells them I don't have a Solemn Judgment in the back.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna 1. Hopefully, we get the errata. That's the only reason.
I have one other limit.
Okay.
Tribe Infecting Virus. I want to see Tribe Infecting Virus come back.
You play goats?
No, I don't. I don't think Tribe Infecting Virus is a game-breaking card. I think that I want to give Mermails something, but I don't want to give them Dragons to 3.
So you're gonna give them Tribe?
I'm giving them Tribe. Tribe Infecting Virus, if it comes back, it's not doing anything in the meta. It becomes a mediocre side deck card, I think, at best. But
Is it once per turn?
no.
no.
But I mean,
That kind of reminds me of the Brio situation. It's not once per turn.
so you can destroy. Okay, so you summon Tribe. I pitch 2 cards. I'm gonna destroy it.
But what if you pitch 2 Dragoons?
Yeah, but I'm gonna pitch 2 cards. I'm gonna
Like,
blow out all the
You
monsters on
summon
my
Tribe
board.
Infecting Virus. The guy has 4 blue eyes. He takes out Spirit Dragon for 0 eyes, and you lose.
Alright, so we've covered our limited list. Now to the semi-limits. Semi-limits are kind of like a hard topic. Like, what would you actually put back to 2, and what's your reasoning behind it? I'm usually not really solid on this part. But I actually have a couple cards this time. I guess I'll start with stuff going down to 2, which is kind of rare. Usually stuff goes back up. But Solemn Strike, it's about time.
Yeah,
I think Solemn Strike doesn't need to be a 3.
I completely agree. Solemn Strike will follow the Solemn Warning trend
Yes.
of going to 2 and then going to 1, and then a new Solemn will come out, and then the old Solemn will get banned.
And guess what? Reprint confirmed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's gonna follow Warning. It's just I think
actually-
it'll come out the next ban list.
Is the reprint actually confirmed?
Well, it's basically
Basically.
It's basically.
But I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna release the Megatins, and everyone's gonna buy the Megatins and buy Solemn Strikes, and then after that, they're gonna semi-limit it.
I think even if Solemn Strike was at 2, people would buy the Mega Tins for Strike anyways.
Not too many people have
Yeah.
access to them. And it is a very expensive card to play.
Yeah.
And
It's still like 30, 35-ish right now.
That's because everyone freaks out about it getting limited.
Yeah, everyone's selling it.
yeah,
crazy.
like the thing is about Solemn Strike, reason why I kind of want Solemn Judgment come back at 1 is just to replace that strike that's gone. And it's actually slightly different because Solemn Judgment does not negate effects. That's the kind of balancing issue with their Solemn Brigade. You can't just have Solemn Brigades negate one card to kind of deal with everything.
Yeah.
Although Judgment is kind of like that, it hits your summons and hits your spell traps.
Yeah, I think Judgment is just an infinitely better version of Strike.
I think just Judgment is
That's
just an
me.
infinite
But that's just me.
version of every card that's solemn. I have Burial from Different Dimension going to 2, Book of Moon going to 2, Thousand Eyes Restrict going to 2, and that's it. I don't. Which ones do you not care about?
Basically all of those.
Thousand Eyes Restrict can go 3 for all I know.
Yeah, I feel like this is that little sample. Like let's put it to 2, then put it to 3.
Yeah,
Kinda like-
Thousand Eyes has done basically nothing, so it's okay.
Yeah, man, they should give us back Metamorphosis so that we can abuse not Thousand Eyes to strengthen all the other fusions.
I'm okay.
No.
Okay.
So semi-limited, I have some pretty big changes.
Oh, wow.
I have card demise going to 2 because again, it doesn't deserve to go to 1 yet, but 2 it's still fine. It still promotes some deck versatility.
I guess that follows duality. Didn't duality get semi-limited at one point?
Yes,
but then it went back to 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
similar.
because it's slower, because it has that anti-special summon clause.
Yeah, they both do.
I have a Pendulum Sorcerer going to 2 because, well, I have Monkey Board and Draco Face Off 8 hit. So Sorcerer to 2 is fine instead of going to 1 that they were kind of promoting. I have Mortal Attack going to 2 because I want to see 2 in my hand.
Okay, I agree. I would like to see you have 2 of it in your hand too.
And the last card I have going to is Skarm because BA needs to get hurt some more, and Skarm is, I guess, the early game consistency card. When it's not a 3, then they don't see it as often. So
see, our changes for BA is like really busting their kneecaps. Yours is like stabbing, like kind of like slashing them on the arm, and that's kind of okay.
no, I have Dante at 1. I have
I
Seer at 1.
don't know. The problem I have with semi-limiting cards,
it doesn't do anything.
it feels like you're not hitting it. It feels like I'm not hitting the deck.
I feel like semi-limiting.
Okay, so if we were all like, if there was a guy on the ground and that's the BA guy, and we're beating the crap out of him, you're the guy that's like just kind of kicking him on the side, not really hurting him.
Yeah.
No,
that's semi-limiting.
I feel like if for decks that have a lot of cards that hit, kind of like BA and like Pepe, which had a lot of cards in the deck that could play, you need to hit the big power cards down to 0, and then you need to hit the engine cards down to 2 or 1. So Sorcerer to 2 is still good.
Yeah,
it still makes the Pepe engine a little more splashable. They can play the Skull Combat, they can play the 2 Sorcerers, they can play the Key Turtle, the Wizard Draw, etc. Like they can play those kind of cards, but they can't play the power cards.
I guess it's kind of like Dragoon being a 2. It feels the same way. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Pendulum Sorcerer at 3 and 2 is like no difference.
I don't agree with that.
I think you either limit it or you leave it at 3.
Semi-limit is just, it does hurt the consistency, and especially for cards that are like recurable, like you can replay them constantly or research them. Putting them into 2 does have some level of impact. Like hitting E-Tully did make Cosmo less consistent. I have to say that. Like I haven't gone OTK button as much because of that. Like there has been like noticeable difference. Back when it was 3. Oh, I bricked Italy! Whoa, not Tin Can, straight to Farm Girl now. You're dead now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, no.
Okay.
So,
Anything else at 2?
I have Compulse because.
okay.
Next.
Okay. Pokemon at 2. I don't know. Maybe
Oh.
Subterrors will do something about it.
Book of Moon at 2.
That sounds sub-terrifying.
Okay, yeah. See how little impact semi-limits have.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about stuff going to 3. What do you got? Okay.
Honest.
Okay, next card.
Next
card.
Next card.
I have Debris Dragon going to 3 because it basically does nothing, and Blue Eyes cannot play that card. They can play it kind of, but it's not very good. Summon the egg!
Yeah!
No, and then I have Infinity Archfiend going to 3.
Oh, holy crap.
Wait, what?
I do too.
What?
Yeah.
You guys both?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mostly because it was reprinted in OTS 2, so that's why I think it's going to go to 3. I also feel like Infinity has been on the ban list for a very long time, and they should
won
just
Worlds,
throw them a
man.
bone.
Okay.
No, Infinity.
And Laval Chain is banned.
Okay.
Laval Chain is banned now. So
Wow, man,
Infinity
our
is pretty
reasoning is
terrible.
like pretty
Pretty
much
not
the
the
same
bad
level.
No,
of
I
change
think
banned.
Archfiend should stay at 1.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying, see, Archfiend going to 3, I'm okay with. Okay, like you said, Lava Chain's gone. As long as
More
Lava
crazy
Chain,
combos?
oh man, Lava Chain comes back, say
No.
no
I
to that.
guess.
No.
And also, Barrier is still at 1. They're not gonna have the triple Barrier in the back. You can't do. Oh, you have to trade 3 cards for me for one
Yeah.
play. No, it's not happening anymore, so it's okay. I don't think it's that bad.
I don't know. I'm scared of. I guess
Yes.
it can happen.
Kenny has what we would call Infernity Nightmares.
I never even.
He has an Infernity.
I wasn't even
complex.
playing during Infernity format, so I don't know.
Infernity Ori. I can't even say it. Right. Infernity Complex.
Wow, nice pun there, Thomas.
Infernity
No.
already.
Don't take me down to your
Do you
level.
see this influence I'm having?
My
All
hair's,
right,
my hair's
okay.
a mess now, thanks to you.
Okay. Anything else at 3?
Yes.
Oh.
Dark hole.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can see
It's
that.
not gonna happen though, but whatever.
Gold sarcophagus.
I would like.
Because it doesn't. Just because it doesn't.
Okay, well,
because
Dragon
Dragons are no longer a
yeah,
thing.
yeah, the
Yeah.
rulers are gone.
One last one.
But what if the Necroface goes to 3? Then we have a problem.
No, okay, no.
My one last one is moral talk.
Oh, so you guys both love Moral Talk change.
I think I don't know. Moral talk going to 3.
So you can draw 2.
But
3 of them?
well, yeah. But because I have Seraphonite banned,
Okay.
I think I can put the artifact engine back.
Yeah, I can see there's some synergy between Brilliant Fusion and the Artifact Engine.
But isn't it? I thought it was kind of slow because, like, if you use Sanctum to summon out Moral Attack,
Yeah.
it's
Also-
still like at least 1 turn too late.
But also like, I don't know. I'm just not afraid of.
You're just-
I don't know. I think the artifact engine's outclassed.
That's true. Like they
it's
are based by destruction, and there's so many things that
like
just,
Cosmic Cyclone.
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so many things that just trigger
Yeah.
from your destruction, and like look at every single card in Meadowfell. They all have some sort of destruction based effect.
Mhm.
Like especially their spell trap lineup. Okay, whatever. I don't mind that. It doesn't matter. But then again, don't they just destroy face up cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moral talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think artifact engines, whatever.
Seems
Yeah,
like that's
it's a little power creeped out now at this point.
okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
All right, so that will be our ban list prediction. Have we murdered enough of everyone's decks yet? If not, leave a comment down below and we'll show you how much further we would love to go. But no, honestly, leave your opinion down in the comments below because we would like to hear what you would hit. Whether you agree with us or disagree or agree with some of us.
Agree with me.
No.
No. But anyways, one more thing to cover is when do you think the ban list will happen? Because of course now Konami has taken away the knowledge of when, well it's been a while now, but they've taken away the knowledge of when ban lists will come out. So what's your prediction on these?
I feel like it will be after Worlds for sure. Kind of like last year, it was after Worlds.
But that's kind of generic. Any like
Yeah.
after?
Probably like August, like the week of August 20th. Friday at noon. It's always Friday. It's always at noon. So watch out on Friday at noon around
So
August
like
20th.
about August 26th.
Yes. The
Roughly.
weekend of August 20th.
What if it just came out tomorrow and then this whole video is useless?
Oh, that'll be unfortunate.
Well, we'll
I
still
guess.
release it, but I think definitely hopefully before September. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was mid-September myself. Like even after a couple of maybe even after a couple of major tournaments. But I think we're predicting before YCS Toronto.
Yes.
I think
I
that's
said Toronto was late August though.
yeah. So I guess between August and maybe mid-September is my range.
Yeah.
And here are our lists. My list being the Fat Murder list, probably the one that's most wrong, but across the board, most of us do have similar hits that we believe are problems. Nishi trying to be logically sound. To some degree, yeah, I kind of agree with his stuff too. And Oscar trying to think like Konami. These are different perspectives from different kind of angles of how we think about the game.
All right, so that kind of covers up where we would go. Hopefully, it's not October. Like our last list took a long time.
That was late.
That was super late. We're like, oh man! Even Julia
Hedberg.
Hedberg, she was really annoyed with everyone kind of spamming her.
Yeah.
Don't spam her, guys. Just saying, don't spam her.
No
Just let
spammer.
No, don't spam her. Stop getting us in trouble.
I don't know. I'm actually really not down with the whole us not knowing when.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't like
I
that.
think
I think it might be like an attempt to like stop some of the more terrible vendors from like milking people off with their crappy products. I think that has been an issue before, and that it's still an issue if they do give us the release date. Right?
Yeah, I feel like there's a number of reasons that we will never know because Konami is just doing Konami things.
And they don't like the secondary market. That's pretty clear.
Yes, that's very clear.
All right. So I guess that's about it. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up.
If you want to see more, make sure you leave a comment below.
And as always, make sure you hold on to your MST.TV.
.TV.
And subscribe!
All right, we're done here.
Oscar, where's your pants?
Where's your